guys, Shanna here with Making Everyday Magic. Today, I'm going to talk with you. I'm going to share our daily schedule. So, you know I've shared in the past our how to schedule your homeschool, how to map out your year, how to use the Timberdoodle curriculum scheduler, and I have also shared how we structure our homeschool day with our flow. But today I'm actually planning to share with you our full day schedule. So with times associated, both for my kiddos and for myself, so that you can see how I incorporate homeschooling into our day and still maintain time for work myself. So before we go any further, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As I've mentioned in several videos several times, I work from home. When we actually first started homeschooling, I am a trained and licensed hairstylist, a cosmetologist, and I worked outside of the home in a salon. My husband has always worked the traditional 9 to 5. Because I have worked for myself the entire time I've been a parent, I've been afforded a great deal of flexibility and control over my schedule. So once we had kiddos, I kind of adjusted my schedule in the salon to be primarily, evenings and weekend times around my husband's schedule. I did always maintain a weekday time and usually had, a sitter or preschool for that time when I needed, childcare. So because I've always had a very flexible schedule, when we began homeschooling, it wasn't an issue because I was able to do it in those times during the day when I was home with her, despite the fact that we, did both work out of the home. It was just the scheduling that made that work. So after we had our second one, I actually decided to stop going into the salon, and I had already for probably couple years, had a second business. I actually have a shop on Etsy. So I do manufacture something and do all of the work that comes with that, taxes, all of those things. So I am still self-employed. I just no longer go into the salon. So now that I do work from home and again work for myself, I have a great amount of flexibility and control over my schedule that allows me to more easily fit both work and schoolwork into my day. It takes some discipline and some scheduling, and so I'm here to share with you today how we do that. I'm actually going to flip over to show you our papers and charts and planners and all the things. Okay, so here it comes. Let me just pull everything over here right now. Okay, so I have been asked about how I incorporate a paper planner into my day. And as you've already seen, or as you will see in a minute, I actually prefer to have most of my things set up as far as my actual schedule on Google Calendar, because I can set alarms to go off when I need them to remind me to stop doing what I'm doing and do something else. I will have a link to this planner below through Amazon, because that's where I got it. So it starts in June and goes through May, so it's set up on kind of like a school schedule. Let's see. So I'm going to show you a clean page first so that you know what it what it looks like. Okay, so here's what it looks like. It's a nice, pretty blank page, and I like this planner because it has a timed schedule here, but it has all of this chunk of time up here. And the way that I use this, because I do have the bulk of my schedule in my Google Calendar. So the way that I use this is I make my to-do list here, and then if I have something specific going on, I'll plug it in here, but I don't actually use this too much. I tend to use it as scratch paper, which you will see right here. Look at that. It gets so scary, doesn't it? It's insane-o. So this is prettier. But then by the end of the week, it looks like that. So that's how I use that. I am not one of those people who sits down and does a super pretty planner. I am scratch notes, jot it down, Post-its here and there. I would love to be more like that, but I'm just not gonna be, and that's not how I'm gonna roll. So we're gonna stick with Google Calendar, that works for us. Now, if you guys remember talking about how we homeschool, this is Amelia's flow. So when our homeschool time, when it is time for our homeschool, we will sit down and these are the things that she does. And so we've got it broken down by days and subjects and how that goes. And that is what we do during our school time. But our actual schedule is right here. And I just print this blank and I like to fill it in by hand. So if you've been here for any period of time, you know that we dance a lot, y'all. We really do. And, you know, homeschooling means that we don't have homework in the evenings, so that's amazing. And it gives us a lot more flexibility for our extracurriculars. I don't even know how many videos I've talked about that in. So many, but it makes our life easier. So my kiddos are not early risers. They just kind of never have been. So I almost always am waking them up at 7:30. So they get up and get dressed. Then we have a half an hour for breakfast. And then they go back up and they brush their teeth and make their bed. They come down and they care for our guineas. And then we try to do just a little bit of stretch, just a little bit of getting some wiggles out. Now you'll see that this schedule is pretty much the same, or I guess it is entirely the same, Monday through Thursday. And then Friday's a little different. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so we stretch and then we start school at 9. That's my goal, is starting school at 9. Now the way that Timberdoodle actually chooses their curriculum and sets everything up, they strive to have children doing more and more. Okay, so as I was saying, Timberdoodle stresses choosing curriculum that will encourage your kiddos to like move toward working independently. And quite honestly, that is huge. If we did any other curriculum that needed more of me, I genuinely don't think we could do it. Like, this works because of their philosophy on having kiddos move toward a large amount of independence. Without it, I mean, my home wouldn't run the same. Completely honestly, it just wouldn't. I need to be able to come in, help them out, and then step out. So that's what we do. From 9 until, it used to be until 10, but now that we've added Maryland, it does just take a smidge longer. So it's been about, because I tracked this for our first few weeks before I actually wrote it in pen. It has been about an hour and 15 a day. No reason we can't go over or go less. It's not a big deal. So school with mom is about an hour and 15. And what I do, if you saw our first day video, is I just swing back and forth between the two ends of the table. Like, I'll help get Amelia started with something, and then while she's doing whatever independent work kind of comes with that, I'll swing over and start Maryland. Maryland's obviously is much more parental involvement, much more required of me, but she can do some things, wiki sticks, bambinos, all on her own, which is pretty amazing at 4. So that is schoolwork with mom. Specifically those things like, you know, new lessons on things, understanding, dictation, things like that. So then 10:15 to 10:45 is a little bit of a snack and stretch where they can get up and move around, because usually by then they are ready to get up and move around. And then 10:45 to 11:30 is schoolwork, but that is schoolwork on their own. And you'll see this later in my schedule, because on my Google Calendar, I have it color-coded for what the girls are doing and what I'm doing, and you'll be able to see that comparison. And then, since Dad's been home since March, because, you know, crazy world, we have a lunch break, and it is what aligns with Dad's lunch break, and we just kind of eat together as a family, which is great. And then the girls pick up on chores. So they will take care of the guinea pigs in the morning, do their teeth in their bed, which is their responsibilities, but these are actual chores, like, you know, wipe down the table, things like that are like chores. 1 to 2 is quiet time. Now, this used to be nap time when the little one napped, but it's not. So now we just call it quiet time. And it is like anything they can do quiet and sitting on the couch. So if they want to watch a show, if they want to do a learning app, if they're doing, watching a Magic School Bus for science, anything like that, anything in this quiet time block, reading, anything like that. it allows me to have a period of time of focused work when I don't have to worry about what they're getting into. Like they've already been fed, they've already done their, schoolwork is usually totally done by lunchtime. Like we are done, they can sit still and I don't have to stress about that and can focus entirely on other things. So quiet time is amazing and crucial. So then 2 to 3, they're usually done sitting still and being quiet. That's the max we get, and that is great. They have free play, so they can go playroom, outside, art, whatever. And I continue to work through that time, but this is them allowed, they tend to interrupt and things like that. So it's just like a different kind of time. 3 o'clock, I check out and we try to do something fun with mom. Anything they want to show me, do anything a little bit more. That makes that time great to have designated time. Good for me for balance. 4 o'clock, we start cleaning up whatever we've done, usually the playroom. One more chore, and then at 4:30, the goal is to practice dance because, as we mentioned, we do lots of dance. So then we have designated dance practice time. And then after 5 o'clock is, the things that it always is, dinner time, family time, and that's when we actually go to our dance classes. Now, as I mentioned, Friday's a little different. I personally try to get as much done during the week for my work as I can and just kind of check out on Friday. It's weekend eve, so I'm ready to be a little chill. And we do the same thing with school because there's just not as much work to do on Fridays. And Friday tends to be the day I like to go do something else, like we're going to the zoo or the museum. All of those things tend to open about 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. So we have the same kind of get up and good morning routine. We'll spend a couple hours doing whatever fun thing we're doing. We'll either be back for lunch or have packed a lunch and eat it on our way back because we're hungry. Come back, do a little chores, do whatever schoolwork we actually need to do to wrap up for our week, which is usually not anywhere near this much time. We do run practice dance a little bit early on Friday because our dance classes are earlier on Fridays. And then they can have free play, clean up and chore, and then we're on to dance, dinner, and family time. And that is the girls' schedule. Now remember, in this schoolwork block, that is when we do our flow. And I am available 100% to them for this amount of time. Don't even try to work. I just go back and forth between them, getting them good and ready and settled. But then later, this schoolwork time is much more independent, wrapping up things, whatever they need to finish, which honestly is mostly the big one at this point because, Marilyn's pre-K. And so at that time, we just have her either read a book, do a sticker activity, a coloring, or maybe we've saved her Bambino for that time, her art, or one of the games, anything like that that she can do on her own quietly, but still learning, a learning app, ABC Mouse, any of that. So that's where that plays in. And now we're gonna swap over to the computer so I can show you and actually set up, because I haven't done it yet, but figured this would be a good time to set up those Google Calendars so I can show you how we use that with alarms and alerts and have my schedule right next to the girl schedule to give you a side-by-side view. Hey guys, Shanna here. I have already given you the intro and now I have popped over to my computer and I am going to show you how I plug in all of our schedule into my Google Calendar. I prefer the Google Calendar because I can set alarms that go off on my cell phone. And I know that, the kind of person that I am, I tend to go down the rabbit hole and I need something to remind me to get out of that. So I am going to first go ahead and I'm going to walk you through my schedule and then I will set up the girl schedule and just show you how we do this. So let's just start with yesterday, and I have this set up as its own kind of special day calendar, and I will come back and do, I'm going to add it to every day. It's like super, super easy to do. So I'm just going to show you how I do that. First of all, I like to sleep until 5. Yes, I know I get up early, but I really, really like to have some quiet time in the morning. I'm going to keep my own personal schedule in green, and then I will color code my work blocks, and my blocks with the girls will be different colors as well. There we go. So that is my schedule. Now I will come in and add the girls' schedule, and then we'll go through and, oh, you know what? Let's talk about it now because it's going to shrink down some and that'll make it a little bit harder. As you can see, I have got schoolwork with the girls in every day. I've made a point to try to devote some playtime. Like I've said like 10 times already, these are scheduling goals. This is how I know that a day has gone well. I've got some quiet time to myself in there. I've got every day I have about, I think, 5 hours of work time, and I'd really try to focus when I can really dive deep and focus hard on getting work done and have a balance of that with when it's easier to do kind of light, non-focused work. And my 2 focus blocks are before the girls get up usually, and then in the afternoon they'll have like a quiet time, which is reading, learning app, laying on the couch, watching a movie, whatever it is. That allows me to know that they are stationary and still, and allows me to really, really focus harder there. So on Friday, I just like to try to have as much work wrapped up as I possibly can by Friday. And so we take the time to go do something fun. Our school day's a little lighter. I enjoy taking them during a weekday to go do, some of our local things because it's so much easier to do that when crowds are low during school days while kids are, in other places. And so it makes me happy really to have that balance and to do something fun with them during a weekday. So I try to make a point to schedule that time in. It doesn't always work out, but like I said, these are scheduling goals. This is what I'm striving to do because it gets me a good balance. I've got, about an hour and a half of chores, 2 hours if you count dinner, prep time of like household kind of running in that. I've got time to work. I've got time for myself. We try to eat lunch together as a family now that Dad's been working from home. So we have a good mixed 2 hour day. And don't get me wrong, there's some afternoons where basically what we do is we just kind of sit on the couch, and that's okay too. These are goals. This is what I'm striving for to be sure that I get it all done. Some days I just don't get it all done. I'm going to go through now and add the girl schedule to my calendar so that those alarms also go off at the right time to help me figure out what we've got going on, making sure we all stay on track. So just to go back over my Google Calendar, you've watched me go ahead and set everything up. Everything that is in this lavender color is what my girls are responsible for on their own. If it's this darker purple, those are things we do together. This light pink color is my work. I've got that specifically color coded. The green are things that I'm doing for myself and for my family. The darker blue here are things that we're doing together as a family. So I have everything set up and it will recur weekly so that I don't have to put it back in. Now this might look really stressful, but if you come over here, you can click here and I can just turn this off. But all of the alarms and everything are set up. So I don't have to actually look at this all the time because I've set it up on its own kind of calendar. But I have it there. I've got everything alarmed so that we are ready to go, ready to roll, and have things going together. So that is how I use
Google Calendar to schedule out our day. As far as a written calendar, I've already shown you I like to keep my to-do list and anything like that. I love setting up the Google Calendar for our daily schedule. Again, this is goals. This is what we're shooting for. That's not how it always happens. But if we can do this, I get a good amount of time every day for work, and I get a good amount of time devoted to their schoolwork and to doing the things around the house, but also to playtime and free time. So if I do this, it helps me strive to keep balance and to do those things that I love to do a little bit every day.
I hope that by sharing our schedules with you, it gives you a little bit of maybe motivation or encouragement that you can do this too. Yes, it takes some planning. It takes some serious scheduling. And as I've probably already mentioned in this video, these are goals. These are the scheduling goals. So we don't hit this every day, but it's important to me to strive for this, because this means that I'm getting the balance in our day. We're getting fun time and work time and school time and playtime. And that's important to me. We're not going to get there every day. And, being homeschoolers, we are afforded a great amount of flexibility if needed. If the need arises and we need to shuffle things around, we can easily do that because we homeschool. So this schedule is simply our goals. And having alarms set up helps me a great deal because I will go down the rabbit hole and just work forever. I want to get it done. And so if it's just a little bit further, I tend to kind of really get sucked in that hole, and that's not good for any of the rest of the things on the schedule. So it helps me to keep a good balance by striving to reach this kind of schedule, to have the nice mix of all the things in the day. So if you found anything here helpful, entertaining, or informative, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and turn on the bell for notifications. If you have any great scheduling tips, any work at home mom tips, work out of home homeschool mom tips, please share. The world's a crazy place right now, and people need these resources, especially coming from a secular voice, because there's just not enough of them. So as we have many more people flocking to this way of life, please, if you have a resource, an experience, anything of value, a golden nugget, a tip, a hack, any of it, please share in the comments below. Thank you so much.